Oh, hi there. Thank you for showing up for your learning. It's great that you continue to do so. Now we're going to be looking at problem type 2 where we're expanding and simplifying. We're working with these functions, f of x and g of x. So my first step is to copy them out carefully. I'm just going to zoom out and do that. And I'm going to try it this way to do it very beautifully. F of x is equal to negative 2 multiplied by bracket x minus 1 bracket multiplied by x plus 3 end bracket. Cool. And then let's do another one over here with g of x. And we're going to change the color to red, I guess. And here we go. G of x is equal to 3 multiplied by x minus 2. I can't do a squared here, so I'm going to do it with my pen, minus 12. Okay. Now, let's zoom in. I've got them copied down carefully. The one thing I don't want to forget is I want to square that bracket, because that makes a big difference. Squared. I'll make the pen a little finer. That's going to be better. Okay, so now let's work with f of x first. We want to write this factored form parabola in standard form. And to do that, we use FOIL, multiplying every term of each binomial by every term of the other binomial. Just recall, if I have 12 times 13, that's going to be equal to 156. But I could also think of that as 10 plus 2 multiplied by 10 plus 3. And then I could use FOIL here to do 10 times 10 is 100, plus 10 times 3 is 30, plus 2 times 10 is 20, plus 2 times 3 is 6. And if you work that out, well, it's the same thing as 156. Cool. So that's just using numbers, showing you that that always works. Let's go with f of x. So in this case, x is a number we don't know yet, but we do exactly the same thing, multiplying. First, I leave this negative 2 alone, to be honest. I leave it out there. I create a big bracket, and I do x times x is x squared. X times 3 is plus 3x. Minus 1 times x is minus x. And minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. Okay, now let's simplify that bracket. So we'll have this is equal to minus 2 x squared plus 3x minus x. Well, I have 3 of something, and you took away 1 of them. So darn you, I only have 2 left. So it's x squared plus 2x minus 3. All right, and now let's simplify that. This is equal to, now I use the distributive property, where I'm going to multiply this minus 2 by every term inside the bracket. Okay, so that's minus 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. And let's take a look at the graph that we have here. We would expect a stretch factor of minus 2, a y-intercept of plus 6. Actually, that's actually true. And then a slope as it crosses the y-axis of minus 4. Let's take a look. So here's our graph, our beautiful, beautiful graph. Notice when I zoom out, you'll be able to see it's the blue one. And here's the y-intercept at 0, 6. 0 in the x, 6 in the y. And that's just what standard form predicts. It's also descending. It's also going down as it crosses the y-axis. And I can see the stretch factor is still minus 2. So this standard form parabola, I can sort of imagine that, and I can graph that as well by imagining the roles of A, B, and C when we look at a standard form parabola. A is the stretch factor, C is the y-intercept, and B is its behavior at the y-axis. Is it increasing? You would see a positive number, or is it diving down? You would see a negative number there for B. Okay, now let's do the same thing to g of x. We're going to expand that, and we're going to end up using FOIL as well. But we're also going to, we first need to expand this exponent. So here we say g of x is equal to still 3 multiplied by x minus 2 multiplied by itself, x minus 2. That's the meaning of square something. Multiply it by itself. And then we still have this minus 12. It hangs out outside the party. It's going to be the last one invited to the party, you'll see. I invite my x minus 2s to dance first, so I leave that 3 alone. And this is a choice. You can multiply the 3 into one of the brackets first, but I would do it my way. Okay, so x times x is x squared, x times minus 2 is minus 2x. If you do these two in one step and go straight to minus 4x, good for you, I do too, but I don't when I'm showing you step by step. Minus 2 times minus 2 is plus 4. And the bracket, still minus 12. Oh, poor minus 12. Last one invited to the party. Maybe he hasn't got a student card yet, can't get in the dance. Still 3, simplify the bracket, x squared minus 4x plus 4. Okay, minus 12. All right, now that 3 is now invited to the party. Boop, multiplies that x squared. Boop, multiplies that minus 4. And boop, multiplies that plus 4. So we will get 3x squared minus 12x plus 12. And now that minus 12 can tangle with the plus 12. Oh, it finally met its match. They're so well matched, that plus 12 and minus 12. They added to 0. It's just a thing of beauty. They're the ones, it's like they finally found the perfect dance partner for each other. Okay, so 3x squared minus 12x plus 0. So that is done. So this has an a of 3, a b of minus 12, and a c of 0. The standard form, I haven't written it out for you yet in this video, but g of x is now in standard form. Standard form is a times x squared plus b times x plus c. A is the stretch factor, C is the y-intercept, and B is the behavior at the y-axis. So in this case, we expect, we could write that even, plus 0. We'd expect a y-intercept of 0, stretch factor of 3 still, and diving at the y-axis. It's going down at the y-axis. Let's take a look at our graph and see if anything surprises us. Whoop. Nope. Look at that. There's its y-intercept right at the point 0, 0, right here. Whoop. And it's going down when it crosses. It's opening upwards. So it's stretch factor 3. Doesn't surprise us. Great. Okay, so that's all correct graphically. And now I ask you to find what happens if I add f of x plus g of x. So we're going to have a plus g of x. I'm just going to copy this out. And f of x. F of x plus g of x is equal to, we can add things together when they're in standard form. So I have minus 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. And then I'm going to add g of x plus 3x squared minus 12x. Now all that's left to do is to collect all my like terms to find this new function, f of x plus g of x, is equal to negative 2x squared plus 3x squared. I had negative 2 of something, but you gave me 3 of them. I'm out of the hole, and I have 1 of them now. 1x squared. Minus 4x minus 12x is minus 16x. And then plus 6 is just plus 6 there. Why am I a little bit surprised? Anyway, I guess I don't need to be surprised. No need to be surprised, Mr. Jennings. It's just exactly what it is. So now this would be a parabola that has a y-intercept of, oh, it's cool. Its y-intercept is right there. Boop, that's its new y-intercept. And it's diving as it crosses the y-axis. It's like wee, and its vertex is way over at 4 or something, like way down there, but like further down. Okay, so that's something like what it looks like. Just a very quick visualization. So if we add these two parabolas together, we get one new parabola. Cool. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to graph it on the test, but I could ask you to graph that one. It's just a little harder to graph in standard form. All right, so that's problem type 2. You want to be able to expand and simplify vertex form quadratics and factored form quadratics to create standard form quadratics. You should also be able to add together functions like this to create new functions. Okay, anyone has questions, hit me up by email. You know the drill. And you can also track me down in class or in the hall or after school or at lunch. And thank you for showing up for your learning. Bye for now, everyone.